Good afternoon. Well, here we are again. May 5th. I got the date correct this time. I'm on a roll. Okay, this is our P&E meeting, regular meeting. And this will be our call for order, and I don't see anybody waiting in the queue. So there'll be maybe some committee comments?
Nope, not.
Committee comments. Okay, on to item number 3, the Northwest Transmission Pipeline Replacement Project.
Okay.
Saw the crew out there on Indian Road today.
So slash crossing at Brady Street because we did a change order for that work. So,
Right.
So for the Northwest Transmission Pipeline Replacement, staff is going to be reviewing the corrective and outstanding work list with the contractor this week since they're back in town to make sure everything's been taken care of, basically the punch list items. So Nicholas is going to be getting prepared to do that crossing under the highway at Brady. We have our Caltrans permit. The district has so some of it's in the county right away on the south side. But then the county said, well, the contractor also has to take out a permit. So we got an update this morning. The permit's been approved, but we're not going to actually get the physical permit until probably tomorrow or Wednesday.
Okay.
So meanwhile, in order to prepare, they'll start doing the draining of the pipe. Do everything they can probably to get started on Monday.
Yay.
That's where we're at.
How long do they anticipate taking for this project?
Oh gosh, a couple of weeks. It
Really?
shouldn't take too long, honestly.
And there won't be any traffic disruption or anything. It's just.
Well, there probably will be on the Brady side.
Okay.
There'll
Sure.
be some work out there. Yeah, probably a 1-lane closure kind of thing. Well, there's only 2 lanes. So yeah, they'll be directing traffic around where they're working.
Okay. And there's no permitting process for that, or
Yes.
Yeah.
there is?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. No, it's a county permit.
County, okay.
We took out one and then the contractor is also taking out one.
Okay.
The Kern County has approved it, but they haven't actually given us the actual permit yet. They said it'll be probably tomorrow or Wednesday at the latest.
It's in the
mail.
Yeah.
Check
So,
in the mail.
yes. So we project by the end of May that line ought to be up and partying, all right, moving. Yeah.
Part, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we'll be able to pressurize that line and see
Good.
how things are going. Is it, I'm just curious, it's probably maybe later, but is there like a cautious pressurization process that we go through since we've had some ruptures in the line? Will we be running at a lower
That's
pressure?
all new. So.
That part's all brand new PVC,
Mhm.
Okay, yeah.
not on Brady.
This- yeah. You don't pressurize the old pipe.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking the line though, we've had a couple failures. Well, we had a failure
Mhm.
and,
Yeah, that section is not needed to be pressure tested.
okay. All right,
All right.
awesome. Moving right along.
All right. We're moving. That's for sure. All right.
Item 4, did we already talk about this?
Nope.
Okay,
We've
item
got-
number 4, Brady Street transmission pipe breaks.
Yeah, that's the section you were referring to as
Yeah.
far as where the breaks have been. And construction crew was out there today, dug it up. There is good steel there, so we'll begin cutting it out and hopefully in the next couple of weeks have the flange welded back on and we'll put it back in service again and see if it holds. See if we can make it through the summer.
This was the second one, right, that you just
Yeah,
got
this
getting
is
to?
about
Okay.
75 feet or so
Yeah.
south of the first break.
Glad you brought lots of pipe.
We did. I'm glad you approved it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, keeping our fingers crossed. Sounds like,
Yeah, we had to wait a little bit for the encroachment permit from Kern County for that.
Sure.
Oh, for that one as well. So that's why, because yeah, I drive by there every day to see what you're doing.
Then we had to
Just kidding.
resubmit the traffic plan, and so
Yeah.
it took longer than it probably should have.
Yeah. Okay.
lucky for me, it's on my way into town, so.
Yeah, there you
I just need
go.
to come into town. Okay, water street consolidation or water system consolidation.
All right, well, I'll start with hometown. The 95% design plans were sent to the Division of Drinking Water for approval, probably about a month ago almost. Haven't heard anything yet, but I know the state's still working with hometown. I think it's their HOA out there to keep moving this project forward. There's been some pushback. So we're gonna just keep doing what we can on our end, and then if they ultimately decide they're not gonna do it, then we'll just have to apply to get reimbursement for everything we put into it so far, so.
Okay.
But the state is really pushing them to do it.
I would think so. I think the state's really on that bandwagon of let's consolidate these small, inefficient ones. Yeah.
Is it just a few voices that are in opposition or?
I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
I know their HOA president is different than the one that was there in 2019 when they approved it. And there's new residents there. Some properties have been sold. Now they say, oh, there's not a majority. So I don't know if there's been any official meetings or a new vote or anything yet. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did go look and there have been several properties that have sold and have new ownership.
So that's the only holdup, is just them agreeing to move ahead?
Pretty much.
Wow. It's up to them, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll move on to Rademacher, which, is being paid for by the GA's grant from the Department of Water Resources. So our construction crew has been working on phase 1, and they're pretty close to getting all the pipe installed. They were missing a fitting for the final hydrant on the end, so last week they didn't get that quite complete, and now they've had to pull off to go to Brady. So once they complete their work on Brady, they'll get back over to Rademacher and get that phase 1 completed.
So once phase 1 is completed, then you'll flush and pressurize that line. Is that the idea?
Right, flush, yeah, they'll pressurize it and disinfect it.
And disinfect it?
Yes, and from what I understand, they haven't reached out to us yet, but they have found funding to do the changeover on the property.
Really?
For the Sanchez's, which are the ones that are having the biggest issue over there.
It's the only property that's going to hook to it right now,
No,
isn't it?
Mr. Bassett is
Oh,
the
is he?
second
Okay.
one, and he's ready to go. He's like, oh, he's gonna get it done.
We like
He
that.
has pipe on his property that's close to where the new meter is gonna be, and he's gonna hook it up.
Cool.
So he's
All right.
good to go. We've talked to him out in the field, so.
All right.
For phase 2, we did a final review with Krieger and Stewart last Thursday, and there's gonna be a couple of changes, and then I'm gonna submit that to the Division of Drinking Water for approval.
Okay.
We still have some easements to get in phase 2.
Yeah.
I've sent a follow-up to 2 of the property owners that are out of town via certified letter. And then the local one, I'm actually gonna go knock on her door and try to see if I can talk to her. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we've talked to her a couple times, so I don't know why she hasn't
Hasn't,
signed
yeah,
it,
approved
so
it. Okay.
that's where we're at there.
How about Dune 3?
That is the next one.
I'm sorry. Okay. I thought you were saying you're done with the
Or-
category.
Any more about Rademacher? If not, I'll move on
No.
to June 3. Okay, so the state provided feedback on our right of entry agreement. And then there was a new version just sent to them today for approval. Hopefully they'll turn that around pretty quick. There was just minor changes. The agreement between the district and Dune 3 is gonna be on the board agenda for Monday.
Mhm.
And GHD, the consulting engineer, is finalizing the specifications, contract documents, and they've completed all the plans. And there is a provision with the grant that all the property owners have to sign the right of entry agreement before we can go out to bid. So it's very important to get that right of entry agreement back. I'm drafting a letter that's gonna go out. And we'll probably also follow up with like door hangers or something, because there's quite a few rentals out there. Not all the
Okay.
property owners are there on site.
How many hookups, literals are there?
Like 35.
Oh,
I
okay.
wanna say. Yeah, close to 30.
But you got to get those, you have to get the property owners as well, right? Yeah, okay.
Property owners are the ones that have to sign the right of entry,
Yeah,
but they might not live there.
right.
So all of the renters, the tenants also need to be informed. So,
Okay.
so we will get that done as soon as we can.
A quick question, but it's back to hometown. Everything that's in place, that's ready to go, just waiting on them to say, agree. How long will that stuff stand? In other words, if they drag their feet for 3 or 6 months, do we have to start over again with the state and contracts and everything
I-
else?
Don't know, because we're not gonna contract it out. We're doing the work ourselves.
Yeah, okay,
We do have to get the right of entry agreements.
right.
Other than that, it's just a matter of the deadline for the funding. And I'm
Okay.
not sure how long they can
That's
extend that.
exactly. So if they drag their feet too long, we
As it
could
is
miss.
Construction needs to be done by September 1st.
They need to know that over there, or at least the people to be, if they don't already.
They've had a meeting with the state, the grant
Okay.
officer and the Division of Drinking Water. So luckily, it's not something that is a big project. So-
Right. Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right. Anything else? For some reason, Stark is on my note. We don't have to do anything with Stark right now,
No.
right? Okay.
That's one that the GA is looking at.
The GA is looking at, okay. All right. Okay.
Okay, then, on to item number 6, arsonite plants.
We finally received the correct gaskets in, so
Yay.
they're in and the vessels are sealed up. So the plan is to finish, weather permitting, installing the media on the filter vessels. And once that's done, we can begin the disinfection process for the plant and have those brought online.
All right. Sounds like everything seems to be to a wire these days.
Right.
Something shows up and just you get everything down to the wire. Yeah.
Just in time.
Photo finish, yeah.
If you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much room.
Yeah, I know.
Hmm,
All right.
Thanks for staying on top of that.
But meanwhile, we're doing gap plant 1, getting ready to go, right?
Yeah, we're going to disinfect them and bring them online around the same time, so.
Oh, okay.
Gosh, so when you wrap up this stuff, we're gonna have to start filling this up with other
Right.
projects.
Yeah,
I know.
we'll have to consolidate this meeting with one of the other.
Yeah, I know. We just have one big meeting for all the committees. All
Okay,
right.
recycled water discussion. I think George would have
You
been.
know what? I think George was going to handle that, and
I think my opinion is we're dead in the water
Tell the city.
until the city decides what they're gonna do.
Right.
We've already agreed that we're not gonna be spending money on something that we don't know that's
No.
even gonna be allowed.
Right.
But George did tell me some of interest, and maybe you found it out, Jason. There's methods to doing it and processes that have brought the cost of it way down. Is that something he told me something like,
There
less than $1,000 an acre foot, yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting for confirmation from the city of El Paso,
Uh-huh,
who are going direct reuse.
yeah,
There's an article also from the Orange County, and they're estimating $850 an acre foot
Wow.
for their groundwater recharge.
yeah.
So
That gets,
for a smaller plant like ours, the estimate is probably around 1,100 to 1,500.
but still, you're getting back in the range of what we can do.
It's far affordable, far more affordable.
Far more, that's good. Keep up the good work on that because it's, at some point, I think that's gonna happen. And, I just don't want it to be 6 to 8 to 10,000 acre foot like the GA predicted.
The Metropolitan Water District is in planning to put in the biggest West Coast
Really?
recycling.
I have
system.
an agreement, according to what I read, with Padre Dam, also down in San Diego, to buy the water from their recycling plant. Now, they invested some of their capital into building it,
Right.
Mhm.
but it was $450 an acre foot.
Nice.
Wow. Just my opinion, when you start getting in even to the 1,500 to 1,000 and even a little bit higher, now we're getting something that's workable.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Future agenda items. So, CSD? Were we going to talk about CSD?
Oh, you're talking about,
maybe next month.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next time.
you're talking about, no.
Okay.
I think we're going to know more about that at the upcoming,
Still have a meeting coming.
yeah, there's a special meeting coming up
Ah,
to talk
all right,
with
all right.
them, which if I had to predict, I have a feeling, I have a feeling where the state wants to do. But I know. Oh, do you think they're listening? No, they're not.
Okay, then.
Okay.
Any future agenda items?
Nope.
Okay. We will call the meeting at 13 minutes after 3.
What an efficient
Not
meeting.
quite the fastest.
What an efficient meeting holder.